stay in the boat. Oh, there he goes. Otis, you crazy dog. Oh, jeez. Hey, this is Luke Simons. Had a really fun day out on the water. As you saw, I had Otis out on the boat with me, and that's really an adventure in itself. He's about 1 year and 3 months old now, and just an overgrown, just energetic puppy, so you never know what's gonna happen. And that was a big redfish that I had on, and he's actually pretty calm in the boat until he hears the drag go out, and then it's just game over. There's nothing that can really control him. And as you saw there, he jumped in. He actually jumped/fell in 3 times that day. But as far as the trip, I really went out to go test out some new lures. These are some lures I haven't used before. I'm going to do some more product reviews. And the 2 I had this trip was this is an X-Rap. It is called the Twitching Minnow, and I really like it because it looks nice, but it even comes with the single hooks instead of the trebles, which I really liked. And then the other one is a soft plastic made by Exude, E-X-U-D-E. This is I've heard a lot about this company and that has good baits. I've never actually used them though. And so the one I use is kind of like a black with gold specks on it. So again, I'll show you all the rigs and everything at the end of the video. That was really the purpose of the trip, is just to try out a couple new lures, and even got a new rod too. This one made by Edge, a really cool looking rod. So I wanted to test out some new gear. The only day I had open to fish was the day that the wind was just cranking out of the east. So I had really strong winds to deal with, had the dog out there, and ended up just going off of Tampa. I just spent maybe 3-4 hours out there. So here's a bit of the adventure, and I'll kind of walk you through the trip. All right, so this first spot I chose was a little bit of a wind-blown shoreline. This is a shoreline that I've caught fish at before, and I started out with this the Rapalla X-Rap. And had a good-sized trout come up and swipe at it a couple times. It missed. Ended up snagging a catfish, which is not my favorite fish to catch, and was a bit difficult with the dog in there, making sure we didn't eat. Neither of us got poked. And then finally caught a jack. And with the jack, that was Otis's first time following in, and it was a little bit deeper water, so it's really kind of difficult getting them out of there. So that was an adventure for sure. But I did that murky water for a bit, and I stayed in there, maybe gave it 20-30 minutes, and really wasn't looking that active. I didn't have many strikes, and in worst case, I just couldn't see anything. So after fishing that shoreline, I then moved to a different area, and I wanted to find some clear water. So to find that on a windy day, it's almost always going to be on the wind-protected shoreline. So I went over there and was looking for protection from the wind. Found some clear water, and after maybe 5 minutes of really buzzing that shoreline, I saw my first redfish. So I slowed down and eventually finally hooked up with my first red. So that first redfish was caught on this Exude, and the reason why I switched over to this is because it was very shallow. It was very shallow with grass on the bottom. So this is just much more effective in not getting tangled up in the grass. This holds up a little bit higher in the water column and is more weedless. So that's the lure I went with, and shortly after catching that red, I was going down the bank, and I saw a group of maybe a half dozen fish. They were all good fish, and they knew I was there. They were swimming the other direction. But I knew they weren't swimming fast, so I didn't really spook them. But I knew there was something big, and I couldn't tell what they were, so I really did a big loop, and I went back around the other way and gave it maybe 15-20 minutes, and just went around maybe another 50 yards toward the direction that they were going, and I just put the power pole down. And I just sat there and started making some casts, and sure enough, finally hooked up and figured out what those fish were. Way at that far pothole over there. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. There's a bunch of fish there. There we are. Very nice fish. There's a bunch of fish in there earlier, so I got one of them. That's a good fish. Otis on. Stay in the boat. There he goes. Otis, you crazy dog. Oh, jeez. Otis, Get off that red. Nice red. Nice fish. About a little over 32 inches. Thanks, bud. You don't even know what to do with him. All right, so my third stop of the day, I went to a little cove, and this was very protected from the wind because I wanted to do some sight fishing. That's my favorite thing to do. And I've seen some fish back in this cove before. So sure enough, I was going down maybe the first 50 yards. I saw what I thought was a snook, but it ended up being a redfish. Here's the footage. All right, it's off the mangroves just a little bit, heading just a little bit to the left. Looks like a snook. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, that's a nice red. Yeah, I was somewhat interested. Get up there again for him. Oh man, it spooked off. Yeah, I'm still a bit bummed about that fish. That was a really good opportunity. I probably should have just waited. I probably should have let it a little bit more than I did. But either way, it's always fun to see those fish. And I was at least rewarded with a snook a little bit later. And as you'll see, Otis once again fell in the water. Otis, coming a bad habit, bud. Nope. No, bud. Otis, bad dog. Okay. All right, so that was the trip. Hope you enjoyed the video. As far as what I was using and what I caught most of the fish on was this Exude. You know, this is that Exude soft plastic jerkbait. I rigged it up on this weighted hook, which again allows it to dive down a little bit, maybe a foot to 2.5 feet maximum, but it allows you to stay just above the grass so you don't get stuck in the grass. So very effective up in the shallow water. And as far as the rods, again, this one new one is one that was sent over, and it is awesome. It's a really nice rod. It's made by Edge, and this is a 7 foot 3 inches. Feels nice. Again, I just started using it. So far, I'm liking it. I'll do a very detailed review of it shortly. And then the other one is this G Loomis, and this is an 8 foot G Loomis. That's what I was using with the soft plastics. So I'll be doing very detailed reviews and comparison reviews for our insiders. So if you're not in our insider membership, highly recommend get involved. And even if you really want to see these spots for these insiders, you know, I go out and I'm going to show the exact locations where I caught every single fish. That way you can see the map, you can see the exact type of areas that I'm fishing, really what's trending, and that way, so that when you do get on the water, you can use the same trends that I'm finding either in Tampa or all the other areas that we're covering and apply them to your area. Because what we're finding is we now have members in this insider club from really all around Florida and even different states like Texas, Louisiana, even up in the Carolinas. So the cool thing is that they're saying that the trends are working for them as well. So it's been really cool to realize that these fish really behave in the same manners throughout the seasons, regardless of region. And so that's really the purpose of this insider membership club, is where, you know, we just help you get the leg up on the competition. So if you haven't heard of that, or if you haven't joined, you can click down below. I'll put a link to it where you can learn more about it and apply. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video.